What is up, YouTube? Today we're back with an Etheria restart video, and we're going to be going over Palin and Senyu. As you can see on screen, I am running Senyu first in this debut, but before we start, I do want to thank Etheria for sponsoring today's video. Now, for Senyu, the way that I think about her is she's going to be a turn one stripper, and if she's not taking the first turn, at least she's going to be like a high tempo unit for me, where I have her around like a 300 plus speed. Now, obviously, at 300 plus speed, you are going to want to be running Swift Rush and Swift Raid, or obviously Swift Smite. But for me personally, I've already invested 3 levels of lattices into her S3, which is going to increase her damage multiplier, but more importantly, increase the dispel chance of buffs up to 30%. However, the one thing I do want to point out is, unlike most units, she is going to have her speed not on the skill 1, which feels really good. I hate investing into units where I'm just getting speed off the S1. It just feels like really, really bad. So having the speed on S3, it just feels way better. I don't know if this S3 damage increase at 4 levels at max would be necessary, but if I need it, then I will obviously make the change. But what I'm going to be doing today is I'll be playing some RTA with Senyu and Palin and see how they do. But as always, please like, comment for the algorithm, and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's jump into the RTA matches for today. Alright, well, in this game, we get to fight against Senyu, actually. So, let's see if I outspeed. I do. I'm going to go for the Mizuzumi S3. Don't mind me, I'm having some allergies. And I'm going to go for the S2 pushback with a Dispel. And I'm going to go for the Seal to try to land my Forgetfulness with Silence. Unfortunately, we did not land, but my Raymary is going to take the next turn, so I'm going to drop the S3. And we get another S3, and there you go. First Senyu, taking a loss. Alright, so this is going to be the first game that I have with Senyu on my team. So again, I'm going to play with Mizuzumi to S3 to boost my team. And I'm playing her as like Revelation spam on this comp. So I'm going to get the S2 to push back with Mia. And then I have my Hellkit to basically S3, which is also going to proc Revelation. And so let's see if Senyu is going to be able to do this. Oh, nice.
Nice.
We actually killed. Okay, well, 4 hits means I can actually kill with Revelation, and that's Platinum 1, so let's go. Alright, so here's a replay of Senyu being used as a DPS that my friend Not Banshee had sent me. You can see how he goes with a Mio S3 for the pushback and turn meter gain, and then Plume is going to follow for the defense break with S3, and then obviously Santic is going to go for the S3, or for the crit damage up, and he's just going to allow Senyu to get enabled. S3, boom. And that's just crazy damage right there. Right, so you can actually use her as not just Revelation spam, but you can also use her as a full damage setup, right? So that's very interesting that Banshee came up with this team, to be honest. Alright, so playing with Senyu for like the past like hour or so, I think this is the build that I'm going to settle on. My investment is going to be up to level 4. I'm going to be going for level 5 once I get more resources on the S3. On S2, I'm going to be going up to the crit damage cap, so 1 off max, because the crit damage scales with the Revelation, so getting the extra 20% crit damage is actually pretty significant. And if I had more resources, I would even go for attack percentage just for more scaling on Revelation, but I think it's not that important out of all things. Now, I do want to point out that it's 340. I want to get a 100% crit chance if possible, and you want to have crit damage as much as possible, as close to maybe like 2.8k attack as possible, so that you can get maximum damage off the Revelation when you get that turn. And I think you don't necessarily have to play her at 340 or even at like a top speed. You can play her on like momentum, since a lot of the Revelation, as you can see, is going to be only with momentum and whatnot, right? So these other matrices that you can pick is like Onslaught, Harvest, Momentum. And I think a perfect Revelation would be like Momentum, Theory, Swift Raid, so that you can just play like Momentum, Swift Raid, or you can just have like straight up just Bloodbath with like 1 Fury or 1 Keen Eye or something like that. I think it's pretty value, just because you can build her quite fast since her base speed is not terrible. But this is the Senyu I'm going to be using for the time being, and the build I'll be settling on. I'm going to give Palin a try. She's honestly not really my style just because I'm more of like a turn one player, and she definitely feels more like a reactive turn two type of unit. So I think in the hands of someone that has a lot of bloodbath gear would probably make better use of it. But I'm gonna see if maybe I can find any good showcases of Palin to also show you guys. So let me try to get that set up, and there we go. All right, so I have obviously debuted Senyu already from what you saw in the first part of the video. Now we're going to be debuting Palin now, and I am running her at 331 on a really fast set. I haven't invested in her yet just because I don't want to invest any lattices because she's not exactly a character that I personally will enjoy playing as a turn 1 aggro cleave player, but I can definitely see turn 2 players wanting to run something like um, Reaper steps so that you can cut in front if you can use her as like you get 16% push up and then you can put counter for your whole team, right? Which I think is pretty impactful. But in my setup, I'm just going to have her on top speed and try to just make my DPS characters counter and just have fun. So let's see if this works or if I'll just lose every game. So I pretty much just tried playing Palin for like the past hour. And yeah, let's just say we didn't really get any good clips. It was just me dying over and over and over because I just don't have bloodbath gear. I can't tank. My DPS just straight up died to Raymary. Um, I don't really like this character, honestly. She's not great for my particular playstyle, but she's very good for turn 2. But just because I don't have lattice invested into her and my units are not built for this style, I just can't make good use of her and have a good showcase. So yeah, I apologize. Honestly, I wish I could make Palin look a little bit better or at least have her featured more in this video, but I just my mind is broken and I cannot tolerate it. So that's all we have for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of the Senyu gameplay. I did actually switch off of the Revelation for Senyu onto a more mid-speed DPS build on Swift Rush, Momentum, and Swift Raid, and I'm going with Sword 7, and this actually worked a little bit more consistently, I found, compared to playing Revelation, since I found like a Revelation damage is actually kind of lackluster. But overall, I mean, let me know what you guys think. How are you guys building Santic? Are you enjoying using Playlin? Because I sure am not. But if you guys did enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, huge thank you to Etheria for sponsoring today's video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye!